This week on The Big Byte, the computer literate youth of Budapest are challenging institutions through their keyboards. Diabetic children in California are learning to use hypodermic needles safely thanks to a video game. A Vietnam veteran has made fighting computer viruses his life's crusade.
Today I'll be reviewing Skitchin, the latest game on the Sega Mega Drive.
Hi there, good to see you again for The Big Byte. In this episode, we burst the bubble in the price versus quality debate when you choose between inkjet and laser printers.
Not so long ago, Hungary, like the rest of Eastern Europe, was a technological wasteland, denied the latest Western developments and forced to take the usually inferior Russian equivalent. In computing terms, Eastern Europe might as well have been living in the last century. Then, from 1989, the wall came down, and suddenly the tune has changed.
Well, Hungarians have certainly been making up for lost time recently. The place is full of computer technology, and that includes its unorthodox side as well. There's lots of hackers and crackers out there, cyberpunks, net surfers and nerds. After 45 years of communism, it's time to meet the Libertechs.
It's Friday night in an outer suburb of Budapest, and the Kovacs family, like dozens of others, are off to the local youth centre carrying their home PC. This place must be Microsoft's worst nightmare. It's a software swap club. This is the oldest in Hungary, but only one of many. It was in here the first smuggled Macintoshes and Commodores were seen. Today it's where the hot new programs are furiously copied, often even before they're commercially available in the West. Somewhere, someone is probably making a lot of money out of this, but in here, commercial transactions are frowned upon. It's strictly swapping and copying for fun. For 10 years it's been like this. No drugs, no alcohol, not even cigarettes. Just good, clean copyright theft. The industry doesn't like it, but what's it going to do? The swap clubs are a breeding ground for a new generation of computer-literate buccaneers. Silicon pirates who can crack almost any program and hack through security systems. They call themselves cyberpunks. The surroundings may not be high-tech, but inside it's state-of-the-art. This is the home of a character known only by his cyberpunk pseudonym, Mad. Mad is the local high priest of crackers. There's virtually no software program that can keep its secrets from him for long.
Hát még nem találkoztam olyan programmal, mert addig bőszítettem magamat, ameddig azért csak sikerült feltörni.
I haven't met a program I couldn't crack yet, because even the tough ones just pump me up more. I started with the small computers 8 years ago, and I started to look deeper into the program language. I can see into the soul of the machine.
Mad has the skills to break the complex machine language that all programs use to communicate with the computer. Crack these codes, and it's like being given a roadmap through the software. For Mad, who spends hours every day at his keyboard, it's like a journey into a different reality inside the machine, a world he finds much more pleasurable than ours. Gergu is a slightly different breed of cyberpunk. He's a hacker. Armed with a telephone modem, he can enter data networks all over the world, and often he's an uninvited guest. It's called surfing the nets, and even though he's just 17, he's a real expert.
Do you use your computer almost every day? Every day?
Every day, every day. When I'm not going to go to school in the morning, actually, I bet I would turn it on before even eating breakfast. And I really do spend a lot of nights without sleeping and working on some projects or doing some communication. I'm really involved, and this is not good for my school, and they don't really like it, my hobbies, but actually I'm really addicted.
The challenge is in beating the security systems that protect databases. It's getting tougher to break in, and the risks of detection and punishment are much higher. It's not a game for amateurs.
It's several places. At several places, it's not that easy to get in. In the United States, most of the computers that are companies' computers or federal or governmental institutions, they have the best protection in the world. And it's not really, I wouldn't advise anybody to mess with these systems. And if they get you, your life is over, almost literally.
Like most cyberpunks, he objects to official attempts to restrict public access to information. While he respects individual privacy, he feels there's no excuses for governments keeping things hidden.
What is the government for? The government is for the people's good, and there's no such thing as the government's own good. I don't think so. I think they are for us, and that's why I don't think they have to have so many secrets. Everybody has secrets, but there are too many secrets.
For Keoghan, being from Eastern Europe is no disadvantage because cyberspace has no boundaries.
I really do like and do hope that the future will come as soon as possible.
The system or the politicians are just simply thinking slow. Things happening very slowly in our present society because communication is very slow among people without the technology we should use.
One thing about cyberpunks, they always seem to be in a hurry. This guy calls himself BB King, and his specialty is writing and programming for virtual reality, the only reality a computer understands.
Cyberpunk is a culture for the information superhighway, the multimedia, virtual reality and artificial intelligence. And it is punk because a kind of anarchist mentality, which there are, of course, mad people. Like my favorite one is Jolly Roger, who is spreading files all over the net about how to make nuclear bombs in your kitchen or cook LSD from rosewood seeds and all sorts of mad stuff. But normally cyberpunk is punk because these things, we are impatient a bit about these projects we would like to use today.
At 15, BB King started publishing a specialist Amiga magazine. Today he's writing a complicated novel about virtual reality created on a man-made brain. It may sound fanciful, but cyberpunks are not to be underestimated.
This future is not that far as some people might imagine.
From their Eastern European launch pads, MAD, Keoghan, BB King and many, many others are navigating towards the cyberspace mainstream. They're impatient.
2 years ago, I could think faster, and now I feel this kind of deep programming is only possible for another few years, and then I will be too old.
They're independent.
I think in the perfect society, people have the right to their own private data.
And they dream of making the virtual world a reality.
Before I die, there will be a suitable machine. I will put myself into it, create the world I would like, and live there until I got bored with it.
You got a problem?
It may seem ridiculous to devote a segment of survival to something as basic as connecting your computer, but you'd be amazed at how much time people spend poring through their manuals, trying to solve a problem, only to find their machine has not been plugged in properly. One of the first things you do after you buy a computer is connect all the parts together or get someone else to do it for you. On most computers, the connectors are assembled at the back where they're out of the way. Although they have different names, you can describe them by their shape and the number of pins or holes they have. A connector or a port with pins is known as a male, one with holes as a female. It's a bit like learning biology at school. This connector is described as a 9-pin male port with 2 rows of pins. It's the standard serial port on an Intel Intel-based or IBM-based machine. The communications port usually looks like this. It connects your computer to a modem, mouse, or directly to other computers. Another important connector is the one for your printer. Intel-based machines have a 25-pin female connector known as the parallel port, which is used to connect the vast majority of printers. Just to make life even more complicated, some communications ports also have 25 pins instead of 9. However, it's simple to tell the difference between them. The communications port is male, the printer female. The keyboard and monitor are easy to identify and connect, but if you're replacing either of these items, do check that the connectors haven't changed since you bought your computer. They do change regularly. Fortunately, on most computers, every plug you have to connect will only fit into one port. So, with a little care, easy does it, you can put your system together by simply matching the plugs to the connectors they fit. Get it right the first time, and you'll never hear those embarrassing words, "You've plugged it in the wrong way."
This week's winner in the animation competition is James McDonald from Aboriginal Nations. He wins the fantastic Ava video converter to save his animations onto video, and is in the running for the desktop video outfit from Compaq and Leico Vision.
Don't forget our fantastic computer animation competition. You could win great prizes from Compaq and Leico Vision. Entries must be on Intel-based discs in the flick file format, so get animated now.
Now that was Captain Novolin. You may not have recognized him because he's a new superhero. And Captain Novolin is a diabetic, and he's educating people all over the world about diabetes, a very important thing. Best place to catch up with him is on the computer screen. Captain Novolin is the world's first diabetic Super Nintendo character. Players of the game must help our superhero keep his glucose levels safe, destroy sugary junk foods, and answer questions about diabetes.
Kids are used to hearing the do's and don'ts about health from doctors and parents and all kinds of adults. But with video games, kids are the experts, and we're designing video games with superhero characters that are like the other video game characters that they're dealing with, and that's how they can help teach themselves.
Well, in the game they have segments where it pauses and it has an insulin bottle and you draw the insulin, and then it says you and your doctor can decide how much insulin to give yourself. That's a nurse or a doctor telling me that I need to check my blood sugar at least 4 times a day. So it's a fun way to learn instead of listening to doctors droning on, you should have this, you shouldn't have that.
Well, we've gotten cards back in the mail from kids with diabetes, and they've been rating Captain Novolin their favorite game. In fact, we have these little cards where they say, what is your favorite game? And it says Super Mario, Mortal Kombat, and Captain Novolin. And the reason is because this is a game specially for them.
So how has this game helped you understand diabetes?
Well, it gives you information about what you should eat. Here it says what you should have for a snack in the afternoon, what you shouldn't have, what you try to avoid. And then it gives you little quiz questions so you can see how much you know.
Our primary audience is to support kids with diabetes, but it's really important that every kid knows about diabetes because some of their friends might have it, and kids need to feel comfortable in school testing their blood sugar and taking their insulin, and so it's important that everybody knows about it.
After you have your insulin injection that says, for breakfast you can eat.
Well, Captain Novolin is looking very strong there, isn't he?
Yes. Glass of milk. Oops.
Zapped by a donut.
Yep. Shouldn't have donuts for breakfast.
Charging up on banana. Banana.
Banana. And you shouldn't have a bowl of sweets.
I can see that.
Well, we're doing some more projects especially for kids with diabetes, and we're also doing Bronchi, the Bronchiosaurus, for kids with asthma. And then we also have some other games like Rex Ronan Experimental Surgeon, which is about smoking.
It's called Pfeiffer syndrome, and Terry Plum was born with it. Her eyes are set far apart, and her cheekbones are flat. As she gets older, the disease becomes more noticeable. She suffers from severe jaw problems, and Terry has great difficulty breathing. Before a scalpel ever touched Terry, her doctors operated on her computerized image. Forehead, eye sockets, her jaw, Everything was moved first on computer, giving her doctors a precise blueprint to follow. 18 months later, Terry Plum's looks and personality have changed.
Terry Plum has had her face reconstructed and her quality of life vastly improved with the help of computer technology. Computers are playing an important part in the development and use of medical technology. They control scanning equipment, monitor radiation therapy, and, as we've seen, have a vital role in reconstruction surgery. The most recent developments allow doctors to actually operate on a virtual computer-generated body so that surgical techniques can be refined and perfected before any real patients go under the knife. The risks associated with this technology require careful consideration, however, and the major source of risk is computer error. For instance, in a couple of isolated instances, a man undergoing microwave therapy for arthritis was killed when the therapy reprogrammed his pacemaker. An X-ray machine killed one person and severely burned several others because of a software bug. As large, complex computer systems are impossible to test thoroughly, their behaviour can often be unpredictable. There's no doubt computers add significantly to worldwide medical breakthroughs. We must be aware, however, that the body is an organism and the computer simply a machine.
Our mission in Bangkok to find one of the world's top computer virus hunters. His name, John de Haven. His job, tracking and neutralising viruses. In his adopted city, Bangkok, he runs a virus protection company and revels in the freedom of the Thai lifestyle.
It's a place where it's unique in the Orient almost, in that a foreign barbarian is pretty well tolerated here. It's a place where you can get away with being eccentric.
And are you?
Well, I hope so.
Thailand has been John de Haven's home for the last 20 years. He first ventured into Asia during the Vietnam War, writing attack and navigation programs for the US military. While he's since worked all around the world, Thailand was a place he kept returning to. The best place, he says, for hunting down viruses.
Part of the reason I'm in Bangkok is because it supports freedom, believe it or not. It's not because I'm a latent policeman. You've got thieves, you've got vandals, you've got, shysters and con men and what have you. Computers give those people new opportunities. By providing people security and security tools, we provide them the freedom to do what they please with their computer without being interfered with by somebody against their will.
Giving people freedom to use their computers means writing programs to protect them from viruses.
A virus is a self-reproducing program. What we tend to call a virus is something that's rather like its biological counterpart, that it infects another process or a program, and then that becomes a carrier that can infect yet more. Most viruses, almost all, amount to vandalism, like spray painting graffiti on the wall. They're all some kind of childish expression, it seems, of, gee, look what I can accomplish, isn't this swell, that I've managed to do this.
Viruses spread from machine to machine by infected disks. And while some of the computer viruses are visual and harmless, the most dangerous ones are hard to track down and far from fun. Every year, companies around the world lose billions from viruses unleashed into their computer systems. Some can destroy valuable information, others are much more costly. A stealth virus can direct a bank to send a person a certain sum of money, say enough to retire to Rio on. The program then wipes itself out and the money is never traced.
There's no limit to how much you could lose in a computer disaster. No limit, literally. You could get committed to, to $1 billion. Now what are you going to do?
I loaded the IPX, I loaded the NetX, right? And then ran the COM program.
I can't do it with an XE program. XE program won't do it. A COM program...
Though you couldn't be sure what language they're speaking, John de Haven and his partner Alan Dawson are formulating tactics for disaster recovery. Their clients are banks, insurance companies, oil conglomerates and other large organisations. But for the computer commandos, it comes down to good guys and bad guys.
I mean, yeah, that's why I've always liked the security business. There's always this element of good guys and bad guys and who's trying to outsmart the other guys. And frankly, it goes to considerable lengths. You'd be amazed at some of the things that go on.
And John de Haven is behind the scenes to make sure they don't go on, to guard against the estimated 10,000 virus variations in the world. Viruses with an enormous potential for damage. As computers link up over telephone lines, there's a much greater chance of unwanted programs entering your system.
The minute you run a wire through the wall that connects to your computer, you're inviting the world to take a shot at it.
Is there any...
And the world will take a shot at it, believe it. There are hundreds of hobby hackers and really serious espionage hackers who are out there just demon dialing numbers or trying dial tones or doing things. They're very proud of their break-in ability. The world will be knocking on your computer's door if you've got a wire going out of it.
This disk will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Oh, that's a familiar old sound. Printing out the results of your day's work on a dot matrix printer has always been a good time for a coffee break. Partly to get away from the noise, partly because it takes so long. These days, people on limited budgets can buy inkjet printers. Like the dot matrix, inkjets create the image by putting dots on the page, but they're quieter, faster, and the final document looks a whole lot better. When it comes to business, most users prefer a laser printer with their high-quality result that's less likely to smudge or fade. This week in Gadgetry, we'll look at the differences between inkjet and laser printers and compare their advantages. Inkjet printers are quiet, relatively inexpensive and portable. On the other hand, because they use liquid ink, the paper may wrinkle as the ink dries. Compared with laser printers, they're also very slow and unfortunately don't perform well on recycled paper. If you are buying an inkjet, check the cost of the special paper recommended by the manufacturer and the cost and lifespan of the ink cartridge. It might help to test the quality of the print on the paper you normally use by taking some into the shop. A laser printer is more expensive, but will print a whole page at a time, making it much faster. To hold the information needed for the entire page, however, requires a lot more memory in the printer. The new generation of low-cost laser printers use the computer's memory to work out where the characters go on the page. And because the printer is controlled entirely by the software loaded on the computer, all you need is an on-off button. Apart from being so much easier to use, another advantage of this printer is that as you upgrade your computer, your printer will work even faster.
What's that noise?
Hi, I'm Hayden, I'm the games reporter for the Big Byte, and this week's game is called Skitchin. It's a combination of the words skating and hitchhiking because you're holding the back of cars and things. It's the latest game on the Sega Mega Drive, and it's pretty good. What you do is, it's basically the same format as a racing game, except you're on rollerblades, and you skate along, and you hold them to the back of cars and things like that, and you punch up punks, and you can collect weapons and things, which adds another element. And there's more things you can do. You can buy more equipment. After every race, you win money, and then you go to the shop and you can buy better skates and things like that, so you can win more money and get further. And there's tournaments and things like that, and you go to all these cities all over America, and you go to San Diego and places like that. And there's really cool sound as well, because you can change between about 10 different songs, and they're all really good songs. But the graphics, that's the only bump. The graphics are a bit sketchy, but that's made up for by the cool game. It takes about 20 minutes to learn after you've done all the controls and how to work it and everything like that. The screen's a bit complicated. Okay, here we go. Now this green bar here is the life. That's because you punch people up, and when they punch you, your life goes away. That's your placing. I'm coming 8th right now. This shows you the course you're on, the town you're in. We're in Denver right now. And over here is your rear vision mirror. So that tells you if there's a car coming behind you. And you got to watch out for the oil because that makes you slip. And watch out for the cars because they knock you over. And you can also get money and points by doing tricks. And they judge you and you get more money so you can buy different things. And that's definitely needed because you have to get money to go in the tournaments, buy elbow pads, things like that. So it's a really good game, very addictive, but the graphics are a bummer. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. See ya.
Next week on The Big Byte, an ingenious application allows you to tailor news and information to your personal needs. 1 billion Chinese who've been frustrated by the alphabetic keyboard can now use handwriting recognition. And a new CD-ROM allows you to roam through Graceland and the King's memorabilia.